What's up guys, Bua Davis here. Today I want to teach you how you can make dialog system in Unity very easily and very fast. And dialogues are often used in games. For example, when you want to have some quest or give players some message, dialog system is way to go. And if you like my content and want to see more videos like this, please like this one and subscribe to my channel. Now let's get started, and I will use this scene. This is from my platformer game that I'm developing currently, and you can use any of your scenes or just empty project to test things around. But first things that we need is to create some UI for us to use, and I will make it in my canvas. If you don't have canvas in your project yet, no worries. You just need to click on this empty space, UI, and text mesh pro, and it will create this text element and UI for yourself. And I will do same but in my canvas. So UI text mesh pro. And if it's your first time using text mesh pro in your project, some window will pop up, and just click import. It will take few seconds, so don't worry about it. And it needs to import some TMP essentials in order to use these TMP elements. Anyway, let's rename this text to be dialog text. And let's see where it is. So click on this dialog. We can click on the F on our keyboard, and here it is. Let's set our text where we want. I want my text to be on the downside. Also, I want my text to have some size, some space, because we might have some bigger text and we want to have some size. We can also scroll down in the inspector, and you will see these font elements. If you have any font in your project, you can drag them here. I don't have any, so I will use the standard font, but I strongly recommend for you to have some font, because this one just doesn't look fine and it's not pretty at all. We can change font size and all the different elements. We can change color, but I will leave my color as white. We can change these alignments and all these things, but most important thing is done. Now, second step that we have to do is to create C# script to control everything. So in the assets folder, empty space, click with the right mouse button, create C# script, and you can name it anything you want. I personally named it dialog, and I prepared this empty script for us. Next, we want to have some empty game object to handle our script, and let's name it dialog manager. And let's drag our script into our game object. So our dialog script is there, and let's double click to open in Visual Studio. First, in order everything to work, we should go here on the upside and say using TM Pro, because we are using TM Pro as our UI. Then, as usual, we want to have some variables right here, and first we need to have public TM text, and let's name it text display. And then we will have public string array for our sentences, and then we will have some index, so private index to control our sentences, and then we also will have some public float for our type speed. We need this type speed because I just don't want to have this text to just display and it won't look fine. I want to have some typing effect going as well, so that's why we need this type speed, and you will see where it is very shortly. And first of all, we can create coroutine, and if you have seen my videos, you know what is coroutine, because we are using it a lot. it basically runs externally, and we can have, for example, some delay time with it. And to have coroutines, we need special method, enumerator, and let's name it anything like type, open curly brackets, and here we can say that we can have some for each loop because we need to have some amount of type that we need to type our sentences. So we can say for each char letter in our sentences array of index dot to cherry. Yeah, I know it's weird syntax, but here it is what it is. And after it, we should add single letter because, as I said, I want to have some typing effect. We forgot here parentheses. And here we can say that we want text display dot text. And to add single letter, we can use plus equals letter. Well, this plus equals is same to say, for example, text display dot text equals text display dot text plus letter. It's just short way to say that. And after it, we should have some wait time. So we can say yield return new, wait for seconds. And here we can say, for example, some small amount, 0.02 or something like that, and we will have some typing effect. But since we have this public float for it, we can say here type speed, and we can assign some speed in the inspector. After it, what we can do, we can run this coroutine, this enumerator, into our start, because otherwise our coroutine won't be effective. So we can say here start coroutine, and in parentheses we should say name of our coroutine, which is type. Don't forget one more parenthesis, and we can save the script. Nothing complicated. To save your script, you can click on the Control S or Command S if you are on Mac. Let your script compile, and let's go back in Unity and see. First of all, let's select our dialog manager. It has this empty slot of text display, so we should add this dialog text, drag it there. And in sentences, first of all, let's zoom it into our player, and then in sentences we can have as many sentences as we want, for example 5 or 4, however you want. And then you can click on this dots on sentences, and you will see that we have 4 elements, element 0, 1, 2, 3. This is slots for our sentences, for our dialogue. For example, we can say here player monster, player monster, and give some texts here. Hey monster, and you can say anything you want to be in your dialogue. I will just quickly say something. Okay, this monster is apparently very kind to subscribe to my channel, but we should also have some type speed, so let's say 0.02, and let's press play and see if everything works fine. And as you see, we should first of all, I forgot, we should select this dialog text and delete this new text because we don't need it. And let's press play once again and see. And as you see, we have some dialogue. Well, only one sentence is currently shown into our scene because we don't have anything to control that. So what we can do, we can create button that will say continue or next or something like that. And when we click it, next sentences will start. And to do it, we can select our canvas UI, and we have this button, Text Mesh Pro, and we should name it Continue button. And let's scroll it down. It has text elements, and let's say here Continue. And where is our button? It's in the middle, so we can click on this button itself, click on the F to see where it is, and we can drag our button where we want. For example, we can have it here. We can also play around with colors. It has some normal color, highlighted color, so when we hover over it will be a yellow or green or anything you want. Basically just play around, and what looks fine, just set it on it. And then we can open our script once again, and let's work on our button. And to do it, we can create new public void, and let's name it Continue Dialog, parentheses, curly brackets, and here we should say that we should check if our index is less than sentences dot length -1, and if it's so, we want our index to increment. So what we are doing, we are just checking if our sentence is over, if our, for example, first sentence is over, and if it's so, we should go on the next sentence. So we are adding one index, we are saying index plus plus, and if you're confused why is here -1, it's just because Unity always starts with a 0 with those index and not the 1, so we should have this -1 here. And after it, we should reset our text basically. And to do it, we can say text display dot text equals just quotation marks and semicolon, which means that we are resetting our text and it will be empty. And after it, we should have our coroutine to have everything once again. So start coroutine of type, and also we can say here else and reset our text. This is for when our dialog is over, to have empty space. Text display dot text equals and quotation marks semicolon, and let's save this script. And let's go back in Unity and see if everything works fine. First of all, it needs to compile. And I think we have everything working. Well, first we need to assign this on-click event on our button, otherwise our button won't do anything. And to do it, we should click on this button, scroll down in the inspector, and you will see these on-click events. We should click on the plus sign, and here we should drag our dialog manager game object in the empty slot, because script is in our dialog manager. And then we can choose our function dialog and continue dialog, because name of the method is continue dialog. And let's press play. And as you see, when we click on this continue, our text changes. But we have one problem, and I will show you once again. For example, when we spam this continue button, you see that the text is weird now, acting weird, and we don't need it, we don't want it. That's because we are using coroutines too much, and it's not the best way. And the best way, I think, will be to have our button, our continue button, to just appear when our sentence is over, and we can click on it, and then he will disappear once again until we need it. And I think that will be one of the best ways. So let's open our script, and let's say here public game object continue button, because we need to have some continue button. And then in our update here, we can check if all sentences is typed. And to do it, we can say if text display dot text is double equals sentences with the array of index. And if it's so, we can say continue button dot set active is true, because our one sentence is over, so we need continue button to appear into our scene. And after it, when we click on this continue button right here, first of all, we need to have continue button dot text dot set active, to be false, because when we click our button, it will go on the next sentence and we don't need this continue button anymore. And also, when our dialog is over, we don't need our continue button, so we can copy this line and we can paste it right here. And if we save our script right now, and let's go back in Unity, you will see that everything will work fine. But first, we should assign our continue button in Dialog Manager. So let's click on the Dialog Manager. It has this empty slot, so we should drag our continue button there. And that's it, everything is set. And first of all, I forgot to hide my continue button, and it will show into my scene by default. So let's click on the continue button, hide from the inspector, and let's press play. And as you see, we don't have continue button yet, but when sentence is finished, we have it. So we click and everything works fine, as you see. And as you see, our dialog system is ready. This is just simple way. Obviously, you can add different elements like display and some avatars or some names and effects, but this is just basics that you need to have some dialog system in Unity. I hope this video was informative for you. If you have any questions, please leave the comments in the down below. And if you like my content and want to see more videos like this, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and don't forget notification bell not to miss any new upcoming videos. Thanks for watching and see you soon. Bye bye.